Well, folks, it just started snowing, which is kind of weird and not super great because I'm in a t-shirt and we're not really ready for snow. This is kind of weird. I think it's just because we're in such a high altitude, we're in the cloud. Because looking down there, like you can see Azusa and sort of Rosemead over there. It's in the sun, so it's just a random. Merry Christmas, Nick.
Merry Christmas.
Folks, so I unburied this a little bit more. I was wondering, what the hell could this be? I thought it was a grinder. Well, this ring and that give it all a bit of clarity. This ring on here used to sit around there, and this guy, if I could lift it with one hand, used to sit on there like so, and you can see where it would clamp. This is a complete forge for a blacksmith. I bet there could even be an anvil somewhere under here. That is really, really cool. Anywho, it's in pieces now. I'd like to pull it out, but the feet are buried, so it's not gonna move, but just super, super cool. So this hose here, I thought it was coming off of the intake. It's a sleeve, and it probably went down there to the exhaust, and it's a heater. It's an intake heater, and that's what it's for. Also, another cool thing, found this stuck in between the tree here, which was likely much smaller at the time of the miners. Check this out. It says baking powder, 25 cents, KC. KC, they're still around, right? McCormick? No, McCormick is a different logo, but it's 25 cents for this tin of baking powder. And it's still very legible. I've seen rain on sunny days, but snow? Damn. It's kind of weird. So I wonder if it's raining down below. I hope not. I don't know if my tent's waterproof. It's probably, it's coming down pretty good. Holy hell, it's actually,
Yeah.
Nick, we're going full blizzard here. This has got me a little worried, actually.
It's not raining when it's camping. This isn't fun.
This is kind of incredible.
Yeah. That's something you want, though.
Well, yeah, I don't know if if I was at home around the campfire or the fireplace and just enjoying it, that'd be nice, but way up in the mountains, miles from camp, while backpacking, and a blizzard decides to move in, we'll make a fire when we get back to camp. That'll keep us pretty warm. And then your sleeping roll's rated to 0 degrees, right?
Yeah, it's about 0 degrees.
So
outside.
I don't think it's gonna get down to 0.
No.
The snow's not sticking. So if I had to guess, it's probably in the 40s. Well, still a good ways from camp. Nature can't decide if it wants to snow, hail, or rain. So we're getting sort of like this slush mix of all three. Son of a gun. We'll get there.
Well, keep going down there?
Yeah, I guess we keep going down. I wanted to see if there's a better route over here, but this is just yucca shit and super steep. So,
No fun.
nope. No fun at all. Not that this is any fun either. Yeah, somebody's got to capture it. We'll play it at the funeral. This is super steep. It just snowed. It's been kind of raining, hailing, slush off, on and off. And we're trying to make our way down to the fucking river down here. We've just come from way up there. Look at these cliffs. Fucking yucca, fucking, it's garbage. Absolute goddamn garbage. Oh, Nick, you see where that flower is? Yeah, the ones that you just pointed at. The crack that they're in. Hook your fingers in it. There you go. We're gonna make it, buddy.
I know. I'm still not sure if this is it, because it may have been.
Well,
Either way, they're crazy to want to try to do this again. Fuck that.
it's a special kind of shitty, let me tell you. Well, one last view of the camp. Got a nice little fire going. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. The tent that goddamn bear fucked up. Can't believe it. It ate Nick's pad. And not only that, look what it did to my pad. Goddamn bastard. Took fucking chomps out of it. If I catch the fucker, I'm gonna make him into a rug. Goddamn thing. Anyways. This is tunnel number 11, quote unquote. Not much of a tunnel, just a prospect. Definitely a cabin site. See all the beds everywhere. Stacked walls. The top of a stove or heater, vent pipe, oil canister, and of course the remains of a cabin in the mill site. Okay, so a piece of corrugated steel looks like the door. You can see the remains of a hinge there. It's a little bit better light today for filming. It's just rough sawn boards for the siding and rough sawn timbers for the supports. The floor is in sorry shape. This looks like a bed. And it's kind of neat. They did a really nice job with the dry stacked wall. Get it all interlocking real well. That's probably why it's still standing here today. An interesting mix of 2x4s and whatnot. You could tell they used to have windows with glass up there. The glazing's all gone, the glass is all gone. But anywho, it's a neat little cabin. Let's head on over to the mill now. So here we have the vibratory table. We have ball mill right there. Various different line shafts and wheels to drive everything. Supposedly there's a jaw crusher, but it's likely buried underneath the ore bin there. You can see little bits of the screens for the classification of the ore prior to going through the machinery here. But yeah, she's in a sorry state. We're gonna walk around and get some closer shots. So I was wandering around trying to get to the back of the ore bin here, as you can see, and look what I found. We got a little hit and miss engine here. Little being the operative word. This is actually a good size hit and miss engine. If I had to guess, maybe a 2.5 or 3 horsepower. You can still see this little guy here. That's for pouring fuel. Well, it could have two purposes. The hit and miss engine that I have, Okay, this is for oil actually. This one here. The hit and miss engine I have also has a pipe in the back, and that's for pouring fuel in for priming. That's an old Ottawa, the one I have. This one, I don't know who makes this one. This could be, there's a number of brands. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was writing on the side. It looks like it's just rust. But very neat to see it here. So this sort of gives you an idea of what's going on here. So this hit and miss engine, likely over on that side, buried more, there'd be a clutched flywheel, and you'd have a belt that would come up and over and turn this wheel. And this wheel would run over to that wheel. So let's see, I'll come around here so you can see what's going on. So let's see here. This wheel would have been turned by the engine. Then coming over and around, avoiding all the goddamn poison oak. This wheel right here would turn this wheel right here, which would power this shaft. And this was likely coming down here and running that shaker table that's been moved. That would have been sitting right around here. Then that wheel back there came up and forward and turns that big guy. And it looks like they had two wheels, a small one and a big one. So that would give them two options. If it's the little wheel turning the big wheel, they get higher speed but not as much torque. But if it's the bigger wheel turning the littler wheel, they'll get lower speed but much higher torque. Maybe depending on the hardness of the ore. Then it would come across, and I believe off of that pulley there, come down and spin the ball mill. And there's another pulley down on the end, and that guy's likely running maybe miscellaneous machinery here. They could have had something else. I know that right over here, they got a little, looks like an electric generator. So they were generating power, not a whole lot, maybe probably a 12-volt system or something. There's also an odd piece of metal here. Let's see, what is this? Will it come out? Not without a fight. Looks like it's part of this guy here. Okay, what is this? Some sort of levered shaft, maybe for engagement or disengagement. Not sure where that guy would have been. Here's a closer look at the screens for the ball mill. And there's the scoop. So it's got a spiral, and every time it goes around, it scoops up a little bit of ore, pulls it into the ball mill to get crushed by, they either use ball bearings, sometimes I heard they used roller bearings too, which actually yielded a better result. There's supposedly a jaw crusher, but if it's under here, oh man, that sucker's gone. I can't dig that one out. This here looks like it's also another shaker table. This might have been mounted on top of that one. Yeah, I think this was mounted on top. So they tossed the table to the side, hauled the bottom section over there. But it would have originally been sitting right up on the top of it. So it's that'll give you an idea of what's going on here. You could see a gap right over there where there would have been a chute coming down to the shaker tables, which would have been right here. So anywho, I'm gonna continue up and around the mill here and see if I can find any more old machinery or other neat bits and bobs and ends buried in all the leaves. I've made my way up on top of the ore bin here, just kind of looking around. And there would have been a station up on the top, because the place where we were the other day, there were cables coming down from two upper ore bins way up the canyon right over there. You can't really see the cable, but that would have made its way across and over here. You see bits and remnants of the cable that was over here. So they probably had something up on top. You can see these classifiers here, not really grizzlies. There's another screen down there. So they would have separated it out. And these are designed so that anything small enough to fall through would just go likely into a hopper for the the ball mill, and then everything that was larger would roll off the end and into the jaw crusher, which is, if it's down there, it's lost to the ages. I mean, just that hit and miss engine, if I hadn't seen that side of it, I would have never even known it was there. That's how buried it was. So, coming around, there's something over here that's piqued my interest, and I'm really not sure what the heck this thing is. It looks almost like a giant shaker table type thing. It's got a pulley there and a pulley there. It's got some gear reduction here, and there's a crankshaft there, which you can see a little bit of babbitt left. So, oh, you know what I think this might have been? Hey Nick,
Yeah.
what are those things? It's like a step ladder that goes up and down. It's a rate classifier. That's it. Yeah, I think that's what this might have been. Yeah, because you could see the levers there, and a lever here, and there's the crank. So they probably had a rate classifier over here. I don't know if this was the original location. It looks like it's been kind of messed with. Here's a look at the side of the ore bin. Yeah, there's another bearing block right over here, or pillow block. So they had a shaft going through driving stuff. And right over here is the ball mill, and you can kind of read it. What does it say on the lower section, Nick? It's some
Little Giant.
Little Giant, patent pending, rib cone. So this is the cone crusher they were talking about.
Yeah, but it looks like a ball mill. Like, I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, it's definitely not conical. I mean, maybe it's kind of conical, more cylindrical, if I had to say. So, oh, it's kind of neat. It looks like they had a pulley there at one time, and it wore a groove in the side of the board there. So, anywho, very neat. You can still see the oil cup on top of the bearing there. The things we do for mines. At least it's kind of pretty. You can almost make out the mill over there across the canyon. And we're going up some steepish terrain, to say the least. Nick is way up there. He's making his way carefully around the corner. We're looking for a couple of tunnels, and not finding them like we were hoping, unfortunately. I was up there previously, but I came down, and when Nick gets around the corner, I'm gonna go meet him over there, and I'll spot him for the search, and hopefully anything we can find. You can see the cable there that leads up to the upper ore bins and everything. I guess it crossed the stream at one time. There's the mill site. Something probably caught it, debris, and then carried it around the corner. Okay, I gotta get moving. Came back up again because we found tunnel number 4. You can't really see it, but I'll tell you, it goes in an amazing 5 to 6 feet. Big nothing sandwich. Let's get out of here. How did this happen? I'm back up on the cliffs with the poison oak and the steepness, and now Nick's in front of me. God damn it. The things we do for mines. She's a weebling and a wobbling. Here he comes like a pro. This is final farewell. We hiked in those trees right over there to the right. And we went all the way up that canyon there. Went all the way up that canyon there. I mean, this is all bushwhacking. There's just no reprieve, no trails basically. I mean, even here, somebody left a rope that they tied, except that it's a cheap rope, and so it's snapped right below this rock. So you have to kind of billy goat your way up. This has been an insane trip. Actually, definitely takes the cake for most difficult trip we have ever done. just insane. The altitudes gained, the trails, I mean, look, it's yucca everywhere. And not only that, to make it really fun, there's also a bunch of poison oak mixed in with it or blocking other paths around the yucca. It's just, oh my God. So
So good.
oh my goodness. That was hellacious. We still have 3 miles to go.